and welcome to another episode of First Samuel. And as I remember, it's been a couple days. Sorry, I've been working a lot. But the last episode, the Philistines stole the ark, and they were bringing it back. I think, right? They were on their way to bring it back because it was making everybody sick. You know, golden tumors is what I remember. I don't even know what that is. What is a golden tumor? We'll never know, hopefully. Or maybe it glows. Maybe it was glowing, and that's why they called it a golden tumor. And it was like, it would glow in the dark, right? It was radioactive. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Eli's gone, his family's gone, right? So that influence, and then that leaves room for Samuel to then come in, right? So we'll start with 7. Chapter 7, which was in the middle of the ark being transported to another place. Then the men of Kirjath Jearim came and took the ark of the Lord and brought it into the house of Abinadab on the hill and consecrated Eleazar his son to keep the ark of the Lord. And they said, please, we don't want it. So it was that the ark remained in Kirjath-jearim a long time. It was there 20 years, and all the house of Israel lamented after the Lord. So instead of giving it back, they just hid it for 20 years? Or you're telling me that the Jewish people were too lazy? Please don't tell me that's it. I don't even want that to be true, right? Not for 20 years. And they were lamenting that things were not good. Then Samuel spoke to all the house of Israel, saying, if you return to the Lord with all your heart, then put away the foreign gods and the Ashtaroths, the goddesses, from among you, and prepare your hearts for the Lord, and serve him only, and he will deliver you from the hand of the Philistines. So Israel has slipped into idolatry once again. Gotcha. So the children of Israel put away the Baals and the Asheroths and served the Lord only. What did they put them away in their own idol cabinets that they have? You know, this stuff just keeps to pop up and people forget. I don't know. Right, because, right, in my mind, if you give God to somebody who believes in multiple gods, they just put God in their Rolodex of gods, right? And then when things go wrong, they just start calling until somebody picks up. You know, that's pretty much what it's like, right? You only need one person, dude. That's it. It's yourself. You'll be alright. So the children, yeah, they put him away. They said, sorry guys, we did it again. And Samuel said, gather all Israel to Mizpah, and I will pray to the Lord for you. So they gathered together at Mizpah, drew water, and poured it out before the Lord. They said, pour one out for the homies. And they fasted that day and said there, we have sinned against the Lord. And Samuel judged the children of Israel at Mizpah. Now when the Philistines heard that the children of Israel had gathered together at Mizpah, they said, perfect, we'll kill them all. The Lord of the Philistines went up against Israel, and when the children of Israel heard it, they were afraid of the Philistines. Rightfully so. They were very lost. So the children of Israel said to Samuel, "Do not cease to cry out to the Lord our God for us, that we may serve that he may save us from the hand of the Philistines." And Samuel took a suckling lamb and offered it as a whole burnt offering to the Lord. Then Samuel cried out to the Lord for Israel, and the Lord answered him. Now as Samuel was offering up the burnt offering, the Philistines drew near the battle against Israel. But the Lord thundered with a loud thunder upon the Philistines that day, and so confused them that they were overcome before Israel. Wow. So, in my theatrical mind, this is what God does. God, so you think about like the Bermuda Triangle, right? And you have thoughts, it wouldn't make sense now, I guess, right? But of like planes just disappearing, right? And people are like, oh, wormholes are real. Maybe it's just God for moments like this. How do I make a thunderous clap, like noise, without thunder or lightning, right? Because it didn't say there was lightning. Um, right? There was no lightning, so there was no visible thing. At least that was stated. And the only way to really do that, right, is breaking the sound barrier. So you take an F-35, F-16, whatever plane that you need, right, and you just need to take it out of the future and back into the past just for a moment when it's breaking the sound barrier, and then it just goes back in because all you need is the loud bang. Either that or he was really good at like video editing softwares. So God accepted them, right? And the men of Israel went out of Mizpah and pursued the Philistines and drove them back as far as below Bethkar. Then Samuel took a stone and set it up between Mizpah and Shen, and called it Ebenezer, saying, "Thus far the Lord has helped us." Thank God. We wouldn't be here. So the Philistines were subdued, and they did not come any more into the territory of Israel. And the hand of the Lord was against the Philistines all the days of Samuel. Then the cities which the Philistines had taken from Israel were restored to Israel, from Ekron to Gath, and Israel recovered its territory from the hands of the Philistines. Also there was peace between Israel and the Amorites. And Samuel judged Israel all the days of his life. He went from year to year on a circuit to Beth, Gilgal, Mizpah, and judged Israel in all those places. But he always returned to Ramah, for his home was there. There he judged Israel, and there he built an altar to the Lord. That's very nice. So Samuel gets to, he's more or less the priest now, I guess, right? Um, Tell me, Samuel's old right now? I guess he's older, right? Took him some years. Well, 20 years had passed since he was a child, so he's at least in his 30s. And then, I guess more time had passed. I don't know. He's older now, though. So, chapter 8. So, God saved him, which I guess, right? You see that all the time. It's like, how are you going to misbehave 99% of the time. And the 1% of the time that you need to behave, you're fine. And that 1% is more important than the 99%. But that's how it is. That's how it's gotta be. Now it came to pass when Samuel was old that he made his sons judges over Israel. Ooh, I thought Samuel was going to be doing the judging, but Samuel was going to be doing the leading. And Samuel technically is going to be doing the judging as a father, right? You would be telling your kids to do stuff that you thought was right, right? So they're pretty much him. The name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second was Abijah. They were judges at Beersheba. But his sons did not walk in his ways. What the fuck is with that? What is it with that? Just walk in the way, right? This is, right? Because Jesus is called the way, and they are not walking in the way. Right. They turned aside after dishonest gain, took bribes, and perverted justice. Then all the elders of Israel gathered together and came to Samuel at Ramah. Who knows, maybe their lives were threatened. And said to him, Look, you are old, and your sons do not walk in your ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. So you're telling me Samuel went through all of that just to end up in the same place that Eli did? Right, let that sink in. That's what I'm letting it moisturize my skin right now. The same place? Do we forget? My goodness. But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, Give us a king to judge us. So Samuel prayed to the Lord. That's not what they said, Samuel. They said, Make us a king. Like the people talking to them? Yeah. Or give us make us a king. Okay. No, not make us the king. Make us a king. Got you. And the Lord said to Samuel, Heed the voice of the people in all that they say to you, for they have not rejected you, but you have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. Is he saying, bring the priest into the kinghood? According to all the works which they have done ever since the day that I brought them out of Egypt, even to this day, with which they have forsaken me and served other gods, so they are doing to you also. They said, I'm the most important person in this entire thing, and they treat me like this. What do you think they're treating you like? And that's a fact. That's a big boy fact. Now go get yourself some respect, Samuel. So Samuel told all the words of the Lord to the people who asked him for a king. And he said, This will be the behavior of the king who will reign over you. And he will take your sons and appoint them for his own chariots, to be his horsemen, and some will run before his chariots. He will appoint captains over his thousands and captains over his 50s. Will set some to plow the ground and reap his harvest, and some to make his weapons of war and equip for his chariots. It sounds a lot like today. He will appoint captains over... I already read that, sorry. He will take your daughters to be perfumers, cooks, and bakers, and he will take the best of your fields, your vineyards, and your olive groves, and give them to his servants. He will take the tenth of your grain and your vintage, and give it to his officers and servants. So in in gangster terms right now, he's saying that they're gonna pimp him out, right? If I appoint you a king, he's gonna pimp you out for the rest of his life. And that's your life now. Is that what you want? I think is what he's saying. And he will take your male servants and your female servants, your finest young men and your donkeys, and put them to his work. He will take a tenth of your sheep, and you will be his servants. Keep going around asking for help, and somebody will do it. They'll put you to work, dude. You better heed your own business. You heard? Take care of what's yours, so somebody else doesn't do it for you. And you will cry out in that day because of your king, whom you have chosen for yourselves. And the Lord will not hear you in that day. Dude, this was yesterday. This was last Tuesday. Are you kidding me? This is like reading the news. That's crazy. Nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel, and they said, "No, me want king. But we will have a king over us." He said, "We not dealing with it, dude. That we also may be like all the nations." Oh, oh. It hurts me that peer pressure got them there. The fear of missing out, my goodness. He said, "We're not like everybody else." That hurts to hear. Then that's what made him do it? And that's why we're doing this today? Are you kidding me? That's crazy. That's why we don't have autonomy over how we make things, because somebody else wanted to make money, right? Henry Ford wanted to make fucking money, right? So he built the manufacturing system, right? He built the conveyor belts. Fucking the 9 to 5 work week. You heard? He did this to all of us. uh, and Samuel heard all the words of the people, and he repeated them in the hearing of the Lord. So the Lord said to Samuel, "Heed their voice, and make them a king." And Samuel said to the men of Israel, "Every man go to his city." And take care of it, dude. uh, that's a little bit funny, right? Like, they're so wanting a king because I cannot believe that they said, because other nations have it. Get that garbage out of your mouth, dude. What are you talking about? That's insane. Uh, that's more insane than I am, you know? And that's a feat. Uh, but yeah, God was like, "Israel, please, just take care of yourself. Please, Israel. Go get some help, Israel, please. You're not okay, dude." My goodness. Oh, okay. So, we're gonna find some peace. Please, Lord. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. I'm getting it eventually. But find some peace, right? Um, and I ask God for protection. And thank you, God, for giving us the opportunity to learn and grow every day. And thank God we woke up today. So have a good day.